Greetings, all you movie junkies and entertainment lovers, and welcome to my Looney Tunes DVD Disambiguation video. In this video, we're going to be basically taking a look at all of my Looney Tunes DVDs and stuff that I currently own. And also hopefully provide some kind of info on, for those of you who are kind of just starting to get into collecting Looney Tunes on DVD, and which ones are better to get, which ones are just kind of repackages, stuff like that. So this video we're going to take a look at everything that I have, and also try to give some info for some of the other releases and stuff that have come out as well. So let's not waste any time and get right into it, shall we? Alright, so right off the bat, we of course start with the Looney Tunes Golden Collection. Now this is the must-have, aka must-buy for any Looney Tunes fan. This is the collection that you want to get more than any other DVD release that is out there. The Looney Tunes Golden Collection is the one you want. There's 6 volumes total. This is the complete set that has all 6 volumes. This is the Region 2 edition. The Region 1 edition looks a little bit different. It means it has all of the same sort of on-disc contents and stuff, but it is all pretty much different artwork and everything. So I actually, of course, quite much prefer this artwork and style. I just think it looks a lot nicer and just a much nicer quality box and stuff. So yeah, so let's take a close look at that. So of course we have the top here of all of the Looney Tunes characters on there. So I have the show you the sides here. Very, very nice addition. So yes, needless to say, if you live in Region 2 land like me, you definitely want to get this version instead of the Region 1 version. But again, if you live in Region 1 land, you do have all the same on disc contents and everything. So yeah, so if we take off the top of the box here, so it's a pretty nice sturdy box. So we have all 6 volumes there. So let me just quickly, they're quite tightly put in there. So we have of course the first volume. Let me put that to the side a second. Put it over there. Alright, so we have the first volume here. There you go. Great stuff. So yeah, so tons and tons and tons of extras. A must-have for any Looney Tunes fan. You've got tons and tons of both classic cartoons that are fondly remembered, but also at the same time you have a bunch of kind of unknown kind of ones that hadn't been released up to this point as well. So yeah, I mean, needless to say, just if you are a Looney Tunes fan, you need to get this. It also contains a bunch of like TV specials and stuff, the ones that have kind of been done kind of over the years and everything. So yeah, it's definitely a must buy. And I should mention while I'm here, the Looney Tunes Spotlight collection is everything that is in that collection, except for the last volume, which is the movie collection, is all stuff that is taken from the Looney Tunes Golden Collection. So yeah, and it even says on those DVD releases, if you buy them, it does say that the shorts that are included on this DVD set are all included in the Looney Tunes Golden Collection. So I think it's actually quite nice that they put that on there for us collectors. It's kind of weird how they don't do that on all their DVD releases, so sometimes you do have to be careful that you are buying just stuff that's repackaged from other DVD releases. But yeah, a lot of like these sort of series collections and stuff, Warner Brothers actually have been pretty good in putting sort of that letting the people know, us the collectors know, that is, that that we might be buying the same cartoons over and over again. So yeah, but we still to this day have never gotten a collection that's quite as nice and deluxe as the Looney Tunes Golden Collection, and unfortunately it looks like that may never happen. But yeah, so that is why it is important for if you're a Looney Tunes fan, to kind of get the Looney Tunes Golden Collection, because that's where you're getting all the best stuff and everything. So yeah, great stuff. Gotta love it. Looney Tunes Golden Collection, a must-have. Alright, and next up we have the Looney Tunes Superstars collection. So first of all, they've released them in these both singly and these free, well, I guess 2 DVD sets which contain all of them. So there's this one, there's also, I think, one other one as well. So if I can find a picture of that, I'll put it on the screen. But yeah, for this one, we have basically about 45 different classic cartoons. You do need to buy the Looney Tunes Superstars collection because they do have shorts that are not included in the Looney Tunes Golden Collection. I'm not going to go into kind of specifics on what shorts are included where because we'll be here forever. So if you want to like find an exact short, you're going to have to unfortunately kind of look it up on your own. But this is just kind of an overall kind of saying like, where can you get stuff that hasn't been released on certain releases and stuff. So yeah, so there is stuff on the Looney Tunes Superstars collection that that is not available in Looney Tunes Golden Collection. But not all of them. On these releases, the ones that are included here, the Bugs Bunny, Farquhar, Leghorn, Iron Runny, Roadrunner, and Wile E. Coyote one, do all have ones that are not included in the Looney Tunes Golden Collection, so you do need to buy them, basically. Unfortunately, they're all, as you can see here, they're all stacked on one spindle, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Can't really do much about that. So there you go. Now the only there's a couple different ones. There's a Porky Pig one. There's a Pepe Le Pew one. There's a Sylvester and Hippity Hopper one. But the only one that you, as far as I know, that you don't need to get is the Sylvester and Tweety one. If you buy the Sylvester and Tweety one, all you're buying is basically stuff that is already included in the Looney Tunes Golden Collection. So there you go. So other than the Sylvester and Tweety one, you do need to get all of the Looney Tunes Superstars DVDs. So yeah. And then actually, I do have one other one. We also have the Daffy Duck Looney Tunes Superstars collection, which you need to buy. And on these DVD releases, of course, you might see in the background, you can see the Warner Brothers water tower in the background there. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, so not really any extras included. It's just kind of a bunch of shorts, but yeah. So, but it's good to have and everything. So yeah. And then next up here we have my collection of Looney Tunes specials that have been released on DVD. So first up we have Bugs Bunny's Cupid Capers. So what these are, well, not all of them, but a lot during the sort of the 70s and early 80s, of course, there were a ton of essentially movies and specials and stuff, most of which would basically be largely consist of basically partially new animation and also animation from original shorts as well. And essentially what they would kind of use to do was to basically re-showcase and reintroduce a lot of those classic shorts to audiences, most of which, of course, hadn't seen them at the time, and this was kind of the only way that you could really see them. So that's kind of why they decided to do that. Now, a lot of these specials and movies that they did during this time have been released on DVD. Unfortunately, a lot of like the movie ones are out of print now. I do have a couple of them, but we'll get to that in a second. In terms of the specials, most of the specials have been released. There is quite a lot of them that you can't get on DVD currently. But basically these are the ones that have been released that aren't included in the Looney Tunes Golden Collection, because there is a couple of them that are included in the Looney Tunes Golden Collection in terms of specials, that is. But I just want to say quickly that right off the bat, a lot of people well, I'll save that. We'll take a look at them in a second. So we have Bugs Bunny's Cupid Capers. So there you go. So which is about one of the more shorter specials, only 23 minutes long. So it's quite short. But this does have two bonus cartoons, one of which has never been, is kind of an odd one called Holiday Highlights, which is kind of one of the, doesn't really feature any of the major Looney Tunes characters, but that has never been released anywhere else, so if you want to get that, this is the only way that you can watch it. But the other one, I believe, is currently past perfume. I believe is currently not on any of the other DVD releases. Actually, no, that's actually wrong. It's actually on the Pepe Le Pew Superstars collection, if I'm not mistaken. But I, of course, do not own that, so that was another bonus in getting this one. So yeah, so that's that one. And then we have what might be my personal favorite. We have the Bugs Bunny's Halloween special. This one I actually did used to own years ago. It had a different cover, which I'll try and put on the screen right now, so you can see kind of what I'm talking about. And I sold that a while ago to kind of get some other stuff. But I recently acquired it to do this video, and I actually much prefer they released it in this cover art. And I actually personally am glad that I sold it a while ago, because I actually much prefer this cover art personally. I'm a big Halloween hound, so it's kind of, you know, that's a big deal for me. So this one does come with bonus cartoon Hair Raising Hair, but that's been on a bunch of the other DVD releases, so you can find that one pretty easily. So this one's, I think this short is about a little bit longer, about 35 minutes long. So yeah, good stuff. And then we have what is probably the best of at least the specials. We have Bugs Bunny's Easter Funnies, which is actually called, I forgot to mention on the Cupid Capers one as well, it's actually called Bugs Bunny's Easter Special, and the Bugs Bunny's Cupid Capers is actually also called, was originally called Bugs Bunny's Valentine Special. Why they changed them for the DVD releases, I honestly have no idea, but there you go. Yeah, so this one is probably the best, because instead of a lot of the other ones where they try to kind of take the old animation from old cartoons and kind of put them into a new kind of story and incorporate them, instead with this one and some other ones, like some of the movies and stuff, it's more of just kind of a showcase. They find a way to kind of showcase the shorts. So in this one, it's kind of a whole thing of like the Looney Tunes kind of like movie stars and stuff, and all the different shorts of like movies that they've done. So they kind of, for reasons that, you know, I won't get into, that they're showcasing them. So this is probably honestly the best of the specials and stuff, I would say. And it does include a bonus cartoon which you cannot get anywhere else, called His Hair Raising Tail, which is actually oddly enough like a clip show. So it's kind of a not really a sought after one, but this is the only place that you can currently get that. So now I guess I'll just kind of quickly give my thoughts on these specials in general, and there are a couple other ones, but like I said, the other ones are included on the Looney Tunes Golden Collection as special features. But a lot of people hate on these. Some people like them. I personally fondly remember them quite a bit, because they would kind of, you know, air on TV and stuff, because that kind of as I was growing up and everything, and so I kind of fondly remember them, because this is kind of like where I first saw a lot of these shorts for the first time. But when I sit down to watch classic Looney Tunes shorts, I normally don't, because they're so short, I normally don't watch at least 6 of them at a time. So whenever I sit down to watch them, I normally sit and binge a whole bunch anyway. So that's kind of, I think, one of the reasons why I personally like these specials, is because, you know, they're kind of a new way to kind of showcase and give you kind of watch a whole bunch of classic Looney Tunes shorts without having to get up or do anything or anything like that, but or select any other ones, whatever. But so I personally like them in that retrospect, but of course a lot of people hate on them because the new animation stuff is nowhere near as good as the classic animation. From what I understand, the people who made these had very little time and also very little resources to work with, so they kind of just had to do the best that they could possibly do. So at times it's a little bit more obvious when, yeah, I mean, you can pretty much tell every single time when something is like a new animation, something is a classic short. But I don't know, I still really like these and enjoy them, and yeah, I mean, they did the best that they could do, and, you know, I personally like and enjoy these, and, you know, they're still an important part of my Looney Tunes Golden Collection, or entire collection rather. And then speaking of Looney Tunes movies and stuff, that is what we're going to get into right now. So first of all, I have the Looney Tunes 4-movie collection, which has about, well, actually, technically only 2 movies. So The Best of Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes Unleashed are basically just like compilations of like free shorts, but whatever. And I'm pretty sure they've all been released elsewhere, as far as I know. Could be wrong by that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they've just kind of been made available elsewhere. But the other ones, Daffy Duck's Quackbusters is actually one of the movies that, one of the last movies actually to use partially be new animation and also kind of reuse classic shorts and stuff. And this one seems to be more the fondly remembered ones. But yes, that was really good. And we also have Twee's High Flying Adventure, which is actually entirely consists of new animation. Actually, it's actually one of the few ones that was completely on its own. So, yeah, that's kind of the main reason why I got those. But yeah, but like I said, it's quite difficult to find a lot of those kind of animated like movies and stuff that would include both new and old animation. So yeah, good luck if you can if you can find them. But anyway, so next up we have the 2 live action movies. So we have Space Jam on Blu-ray here. I grew up loving Space Jam. I'm definitely happy to see that it's getting a lot more love now. Because it kind of, for a while it kind of became like the cool thing to kind of hate on Space Jam and stuff. But I don't know what happened in like the last couple of years. But now it's all of a sudden like the cool thing to like it again. So definitely pleased about that. And as at the time that I'm recording this is actually like I don't know, like a month and a half away from the release of Space Jam: A New Legacy. So yeah, very excited about that. So yes, this was the Blu-ray was put out for, I believe it was the 20th anniversary a couple of years ago. So yeah, good stuff. Now the original DVD release actually did come with a couple of shorts. I think 1 or 2 of them actually weren't available anywhere else. But unfortunately, those weren't carried over for the Blu-ray release, unfortunately. So there you go. And then, of course, I also have Looney Tunes Back in Action, which has been released on Blu-ray, I believe in the US in the past. It's never been released on Blu-ray here in Region 2 land. I don't know why. And I couldn't get my hands on the US release, so I just kind of had to resort to getting this DVD release, which is the latest kind of repackage with this kind of new slipcover. Warner Brothers have actually been putting out like a lot of like their family movies and stuff, kind of on these DVD new kind of in these new kind of stylized slipcovers and stuff. So yeah, there you go. So you got all the special features and everything. So I used to have both this one and the Space Jam on DVD as well, but I sold them a while ago. So I recently, of course, reacquired both of them for this DVD Disambiguation. So there you go. Good stuff. So this one has, of course, a couple of different extras and stuff from that port. I mean, this is the original DVD release, so I guess I don't really need to go over that. But yeah, they come with like a couple of like new shorts and stuff like that. So there you go. I guess I'll say quickly. I really like this. Always really liked this movie. I grew up kind of loving this one just as much as pretty much Space Jam. It's been a long time since I've watched it, so I'm actually looking forward to kind of revisiting it again. But I grew up watching a ton of Brandon Fraser's movies and stuff like The Mummy and everything, and so I personally have a very, very big soft spot for this one. I kind of, in a way, I'm kind of hoping that this one's gonna have like a big resurgence like Space Jam did, but I mean because this one obviously came out a couple years after Space Jam, it might take. I guess it's gonna take a little longer, but hopefully that is something that will happen because I actually always really liked this movie a lot. So yeah, there you go. Alright, so next up here we move on to my very small Blu-ray section of my Looney Tunes stuff here. So we of course have the Looney Tunes Platinum Collection, Volume 1. So these, there's about 3 of these. This first one originally came out in a much bigger collection, which came with like a shot glass and everything, and I don't think you can really get that one anymore, but this edition, which is kind of just the regular edition, is still, as you can see, it's very, very nice. It's got this nice shiny cover art here, and because this release essentially was a pretty big deal because it, of course, was the first time that we ever had Looney Tunes, original classic Looney Tunes shorts on Blu-ray, so it's pretty awesome. Now, a lot of the shorts included in here are also on the Golden Collection and other collections, but there is a lot of stuff that hasn't been released before as well. So it is definitely, I'd say, like next to the Looney Tunes Golden Collection, this is probably the most important collection that you should get, but that's just my opinion. And you got kind of a digibook in here, which has a bunch of, cool, it's kind of an episode guide and information about, the tunes and stuff. So yeah, it's very, very nice. So this collection, which is Region 1, Region A Blu-ray edition, I should mention, is region free, so depending on where you are in the world, you can get this. It is region free, so yeah, great stuff. So then, of course, they also did 2 more volumes as well. So here we have Volume 2, and now you might notice here that this is the German release of Volume 2. Now, I had to get the German releases of Volumes 2 and 3 because at the time when I bought these, I still didn't have a region-free Blu-ray player, which I do thankfully have now. Now, of course, there isn't really any difference between these editions and the US editions. They're basically exactly the same. The packaging is like this for the US editions as well. So yeah, so the packaging is not all that good. But it's pretty much the same. Just the only difference is you got to have the ugly German ratings certification thing, which is kind of annoying. But whatever, it's it's fine. You don't even have to change language or anything. It's basically just exactly, you just pop it in. It's English, so it's alright. So if you don't have a region-free Blu-ray player and you live in Region B land like me, you might want to get the German releases of Volume 2 and last but not least Volume 3 here. So there you go. Very, very nice. So yeah, so they only did about 3 volumes. Yeah, so very, very nice. Lots of great special features and stuff, and of course you're getting all of the shorts in beautiful high definition. So it is definitely worth it just to have the shorts on Blu-ray and to also have stuff that hasn't been released elsewhere as well. So yeah, very good. And then to finish off here, we have a couple of the Looney Tunes kind of recent Looney Tunes series that have come out in the past couple of years and so, past like 20 odd years or so, that have been released on DVD that I have. So first up, we have probably what is probably my personal favorite. We have Duck Dodgers, which of course is based on the original short Duck Dodgers in 24th and a Half Century, which of course is a spoof of Buck Rogers. When I first saw this, I actually had like no idea about Buck Rogers actually, so I just always thought this was just Daffy Duck in space. But anyway, so yeah, so they released the first season. Very, very cool. And actually, of course, does include, very fitting, the original short as well. So there you go. So I absolutely loved this series. I thought this series was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, great stuff. And then they also, of course, there was about 3 seasons. And then we got season 2 as well. I really like the cover art in these as well. So there was about 13 episodes per season. So yeah, not too bad. So this not all that great, but whatever. So there you go, and then it was literally like years. Years went by, and of course there were 3 seasons, but there was like no 3rd season release. And for years and years and years, I kept waiting. It's like, okay, where the hell is the 3rd season? There was a 1st season. Like, why haven't they released it? And then finally, Warner Archive to the rescue. They finally put it out a couple years ago. But as you can see, when you compare the cover art, as you can see that they didn't really put quite as much effort into it in terms of like it being like a Warner Archive title, and also it being a Warner Archive title, me living outside of the US, because Warner Archive does not exist outside of the US. I actually had to pay the amount I paid for both of the 1st and 2nd seasons together in order to get this. So, but I'm a huge fan of the show, and I wasn't gonna miss out on the 3rd season finally getting a release of some kind, even if it is a budget release and the discs are like burned or whatever. The episodes are burned to discs, whatever. But yeah, it's annoying, but it's better than having it not at all. So just gotta try and take care of the discs as well as I can. Because of course burn discs are not as great don't quite, you know, they can have more issues than regular discs, so just gotta try and hope that it won't run into any problems. I haven't yet, so, you know, but anyway, so yeah, good to have the third season, and definitely check out Dark Doctors. It's classic. I love that one very much. And then recently, of course, we have this one received a lot of mixed reactions. I personally loved this one. I thought this one was great. We have the Looney Tunes show. So this has the first 3 volumes, which contain the first 12 episodes, and there was also another DVD release called There Goes the Neighborhood, which I believe had basically contained like the rest of season 1. So still to this day, they've only released the first season on DVD. Why we don't have the complete series Blu-ray set by now is beyond me, but whatever. So yeah, so this good to have this. I keep meaning to get the second DVD release, which had all of the other episodes from season 1 on it. So one of these days I'll get around to getting that. But yeah, I personally really like this. It was basically like Looney Tunes characters, but in like the real world. Basically, it was kind of like more of a sitcom format, and I personally really loved that. I thought it was kind of funny, the whole idea of the Looney Tunes having to be tamed down, but I guess a lot of people just didn't really care for that. But I personally thought that was hilarious. So whatever. So then after that, they did basically something which was a little bit more closer to the original shorts, but a little bit more updated at the same time, which was a show called Wabbit. This has the first 13 episodes. So when this first came out, I absolutely hated it. I was like, you know, what are they doing, blah, blah, blah. And of course, they didn't really have a whole lot of the Looney Tunes characters. It was kind of just Bugs Bunny and, you know, a couple, like, kind of new made-up ones and not really, you know, much else. But they were much shorter episodes, and, you know, cause so it's a little bit more kind of closer to the original shorts and stuff, which I think a lot of people liked. And then they eventually, I think, rebranded this to New Looney Tunes and started including some more of the Looney Tunes characters and stuff. But then eventually they got kind of rid of that version. Now, of course, we have Looney Tunes cartoons, which is basically pretty much like new shorts, essentially. So that's obviously much better, and I think pretty much everybody kind of seems to be love those. It seems like a lot of people who did not like the Looney Tunes show really liked this show. A lot of people like myself who loved the Looney Tunes show weren't that crazy about this show, but yeah, I mean, I did like both pretty much equally at the end of the day, and to this day, I still have not, unfortunately, had a chance to see Looney Tunes cartoons because that hasn't been made available overseas anywhere really yet. So that's all kind of unfortunate, but yeah. So there you go. So there you go. There's my entire Looney Tunes DVD collection that I have. Some of the other releases, of course, that have come out. There was another Blu-ray release called the Looney Tunes Showcase Collection, which was only 1 volume only. Everything that's in that collection is included in the Looney Tunes Platinum collection, so if you have a Looney Tunes Platinum collection, you don't need to get that. There's also, of course, the 80th Anniversary Bugs Bunny Blu-ray collection, which had a bunch of stuff which wasn't available previously. Unfortunately, of course, I was not able to get that. It was a very limited edition, but that if you can find that, that's a good one to get. In addition to that, there's also, of course, the Essential Bugs Bunny and Essential Daffy Duck collections, which are very hard to find. Those do have shorts on it that you can't get anywhere else. Yeah, just so that's pretty much, we pretty much covered pretty much all of at least kind of the major releases and stuff that there are. There is, of course, that Best of Warner Brothers 50 Shorts collection DVD that got put out a while ago. That one, everything that's in that collection is available on other DVD releases. So mostly, again, the Looney Tunes Golden Collection. So yeah, that one's not really, one that you need to get either. So yeah, but if we were to go over every single release that's come out in the past couple of years, this could turn into like a 5-part series easily. But yeah, I mean, I love Looney Tunes. I've been a Looney Tunes fan my entire life. You know, I grew up kind of, watching Bugs Bunny and, all the other Looney Tunes characters. And, for a long time when I first started collecting Looney Tunes on DVD, I basically just see Bugs Bunny's face and buy it, just wouldn't really think about, because of course I never really popped into my head that they would repackage or redo any other collections or anything, but they do that, and so gotta watch out. So hopefully this video kind of proved to be kind of helpful to those of you who are looking to collect some of these DVDs and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more videos, and of course got a lot of things coming. And yeah, so until next time, make sure to consume as much entertainment as humanly possible, and I will see you in the next video.